Watmos is a unique, not-for-profit organisation. We're made up of almost 3,000 properties here in Walsall, the West Midlands, and Lambeth, South London. We are a democratic organisation with tenants at the heart of all the decision making. We have safe, clean communities. Our homes are managed locally by our tenants. We provide services that we are always improving. I would like to take this opportunity to introduce you to our new Chief Executive, Tom Hopkins.
Hello, my name is Tom Hopkins and I'm the Chief Executive Officer for Watmos Community Homes. It's a really exciting and challenging time for Watmos at the moment. There are threats from the introduction of universal credit and also the opportunities that government is allowing for tenants to buy their homes through the right to buy with increased discounts. So these are threats that we cannot discount. Also, our regulator, the Homes and Communities Agency, is putting pressure on all housing associations in terms of delivery of value for money. In essence, that means that at Watmos, we must improve our quality while also driving down costs. There are also economic and regulatory constraints provided from our regulator. This means that Watmos must have strong community leadership for us to remain an independent organisation. Watmos is an inclusive, accountable, transparent, but also unique and complex organisation. And we must respond to the needs of the regulator and make sure that we're meeting our residents' and communities' needs. That means we must do better in all services. We cannot be complacent. What we want to do in this short video is actually show you what we're doing in terms of improving value for money and improving our service, and actually show you some of our plans for the next 5 years. To continue to improve, what we must do is rely upon the good nature of our volunteers and actually our staff to work together with a common goal to make the organisation better and provide better services to the needs of our residents and improve our communities. What we want to do is actually deliver communities and homes where people want to live and actually create an employer where proud staff work. Thanks very much for listening to me. I'll speak to you later at the end of the short film. We'll present to you openly and honestly how well we've done in the last 12 months.
My name is Cole Baines. I'm the Executive Director of Resources for Watmos Community Homes. Like all housing associations and all businesses, Watmos Community Homes is required to deliver value for its residents in the services that they provide. And Watmos is no different to any other business in that sense. And I think it's important that Watmos can demonstrate to its residents how it's performing, how it's going to deliver its services, and in particular its business objectives, which includes many social outcomes for its residents, and to provide those services in the most efficient and effective and economic manner.
My name is Pauline Melvin of Butter Street TMO. Value for money to me means good service on repairs, having them done on time and done in an efficient manner.
From our own self-assessment against our peers, we've assessed how well we provide value for money for our residents, and our analysis shows that our rents for both Walsall and Lambeth are amongst the lowest, if not the lowest, in the areas that we operate within.
Value for money is what you can see. To me, that's what it is. It's that everybody, like myself as a leaseholder, like tenants who are paying rent, can actually see, can observe what their money is being spent on. We provide a very good repair service and we're very good at managing antisocial behaviour on our estates. Where we're not doing particularly well is around our cost base. Our housing service costs are higher than our peers, and that's because we operate on a local level. We have offices on each estate,
and that has the impact of driving up our costs.
I'm Leslie Smith, I'm Chair of Delves East. Value for money, well, that's to get the best possible service from everyone we use, from our caretaker handyman right through to contractors, the gas servicing. Everything that we supply for our tenants has to be top quality.
For me, is our rents is the main value for money, because we're the lowest rent in amongst all the associations.
There are a number of long-standing contracts that Watmos has inherited from the local authority, and these contracts are subject to review and re-tender.
My name is John Morris, I'm an independent board member for Watmos. It is about looking at what it is you want to get from a contract, an activity, being clear what it is you want, and looking at how to make sure you get that.
We have good performance levels and high satisfaction levels across a range of services, but there are some areas of service across some TMO estates where improvement is required.
My name's Linda Rowan and I'm a committee member on Delves East. Value for money means to me getting the best for less, basically. And I feel that Watmos, because of the small rent you're paying, you are getting value for money, because you're not only getting the landlord, you're getting the family, because everyone's so friendly and warm.
Last year we generated extra surpluses over and above budget by £1.1 million, and we've used these surpluses to provide additional services or investment works. Notably, we've managed to allocate extra funds towards our major works and cyclical maintenance contracts.
My name's Sean Coughlin, I'm an independent board member for Watmos. Value for money to me means that we have to be more efficient and useful with our resources, and that's not just the financial resources, that's the resources of the staff that we have, and specifically the involvement of our tenants through volunteering. So it's using those to the best of the abilities and finding ways of how we can develop new services.
Over the next 5 years we've set clear targets within our corporate plan, and one of the key targets is to reduce our operating costs by 4% per year over the next 5 years. And to achieve this, we're undertaking a number of tasks. We're establishing a procurement team to look at all our high value contracts with a view to getting better value out of the contracts that we've got, or to re-tender those contracts.
Watmos offer value for money? Yes, I believe they do. I believe they have the interest to do that. They have the interest to improve the estate.
Because Watmos work for us, for the tenants, and Watmos are striving to have our values as well, what we've always believed in.
We also want to assess the impact our TMOs are having on our residents. We want to understand the well-being of our residents and how this is improved by our TMOs.
I'm not sure about any improvement that Watmos can make. They are a very good landlord and their services are second to none.
I've been involved in other organisations here in Walsall, specifically in housing, and that don't have that tenant involvement that Watmos has, and I think that they actually do value every penny that they spend, the reason they spend it.
Watmos does offer value for money because it's only a small rent and you get all these services. I mean, if I need a repair, because I'm a paraplegic, it gets done within a couple of hours.
We completed about 11,000 repairs on all 11 estates last year, with about 99.7% I think completed within the required timescales. Often they're completed on the same day.
We have a very good repairs service. We do random checking with all our tenants as to their satisfaction and was the work done efficiently and promptly.
We've got a comprehensive performance management framework which monitors all our performance across all the service areas. So a lot of our indicators are within the top 25% of best performing housing associations, and we hope that we can improve that even further and try and make that into the top 10% of best performing housing associations.
I think it's the individual TMOs. We've all got good managers and good staff which do manage the estate very well. We oversee everything I do, even down to the handyman.
We've got a detailed complaint procedure with different levels that tenants can complain at, but we received very few complaints. We've only received 55 complaints last year, with about 85% of those responded to within the 10 days, which is our target time.
Well, we've had several complaints last year and also this year, mainly to do with the services that we pay for that we haven't been getting.
We have a 100% satisfaction survey from our tenants. Obviously we don't go around and knock on everybody's door, but the surveys that are sent out and the ones that come back, we have 100% satisfaction.
If we cannot resolve the complaint, then we go to our landlords, who are Watmos, and they give us help and advice that we need, and they help us to sort out the problem for us.
Tenants are on the estates, our staff are on the estates, and they pick up service failures very, very quickly. The tenants are empowered and feel they can report things early before things go wrong.
Residents have every opportunity to influence the decision makers. Tenants can have influence by just attending an open day, and there's always an opportunity for them to say what they'd like to see in the future. So that's like getting feedback from them. They can also have influence by joining the committee, where they'll be trained on management skills, and they'll be able to oversee the day-to-day running of the estate.
An area that Watmos does really well in is responding to its tenants and involving the tenants' activities. I mean, some of the existing tenant board members are constantly worried about the lack of new people coming through and getting involved. But actually they get 30–40% of people taking some sort of activity, getting involved and doing things, you know. In this day and age, that's an incredible number.
The tenant does have a big say in how he or she lives, and that's marvellous. And as I say, for me, being a disabled tenant, I've lived in my house for 21 years. I've lived under the council and I've lived under Watmos, and I must say there certainly is a difference between being a council tenant and being a Watmos tenant, because as a Watmos tenant your views are listened to, and that's very important.
People complain about some ridiculous things. People write genuine complaints at this present time with what's going on with the refurbishing and they're putting in kitchens and bathrooms and such like. People have a right to complain because of the conditions. But that's been taken in hand now, both by Watmos and by us.
We've got satisfaction indicators across all the service areas, so we monitor how satisfied our tenants are with all the services that we provide. And on average, tenants are, across all service areas, they're about 85% satisfied. But satisfaction varies from anything between 70% to 100% across all 11 TMOs. And obviously we continue to try to improve how satisfied our tenants are and try to look at things that we can do better.
I'd like to talk to you now about our plans for the future. We are ambitious. We want to develop Watmos Community Homes. We have plans to diversify, strengthen and grow. We wish to become a stronger, independent, tenant-led organisation, and that ambition remains. We want to invest £22 million in our existing homes and communities. We want to lever in the maximum amount of Green Deal and eco money that we can to make sure that our homes are fit for the 21st century and actually efficient to run for our tenants. We want to introduce opportunities for residents to to create social enterprises, to reinvest in the social needs of our communities, but also to employ people off our estates, give people opportunities to come back into the workplace either through apprenticeships or by the creation of social enterprises. Unfortunately, we also have to be mindful of costs. We need to improve quality by also driving down cost. We are committed to cutting our management and maintenance costs by 20% over the next 5 years, whilst maintaining or improving quality and standard. This short film has introduced you to the executive management team of Watmos Community Homes and some of our resident volunteers, as well as our tenant chair. We're all clear about the future for Watmos. We have a single vision, and all our TMOs and our Watmos staff are all united in making sure that our ambitions are fulfilled. We need to make sure that we have a plan and that that's realised, but we never need to forget that we must deliver value for money. For every pound's worth of income that comes in from tenants' pockets needs to be used efficiently in terms of the delivery of our service. I hope you found this short film interesting and informative. If you have any feedback, please come back to me or one of my staff and we'll take your point on board and hopefully try and move the service forward. Thank you for your patience in watching. I hope it's been useful and I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.